I'm Rick Barrett, a reporter with the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel and USA Today network. For the past year, I've been covering one of the worst downturns in dairy farming in decades. One of those dairy towns is Loyal, Wisconsin, in Clark County, in the northwest part of the state. I recently returned to see how this city of 1,300 people is dealing with a new and historic crisis, the COVID-19 pandemic. I arrived shortly after the governor's stay-at-home order took effect in late March. Loyal had recorded 0 cases of COVID-19, yet the virus hit the city hard. Closed signs and darkened storefront windows offer a glimpse into the damage. It wasn't hard to find folks to tell me just how hard it's been.
I mean, the bills still roll in, but you got no money to pay.
Stopped everything completely. It's hard to make money around here, and then they shut it down for 3 months.
We have a tavern across the road. I asked him what he felt he was losing per day with this shutdown. And he said, easy $2,000 a day.
I walked down Main Street to meet up with someone who knows just how much small businesses need help. Sheila Nyberg is the county's economic development director. Her office is in downtown Loyal, and she only has to glance out her window to see how quiet everything is. More like a Sunday than a work day.
This has been one of the hardest things that we've all been through. Yes, we've had the downturn in the economy in '08. We went through that, picked our bootstraps up and marched forward, got back in the game. And now you look at this, we've had 5+ years of bad things for our dairy. Our agriculture and dairy has been going into 6 years of nothing positive, not much. And it just tanked. In the middle of all this, then your agriculture, which you are so proud of and you are all about, producing food and product from the dairy industry and the meat side of it, this on top of the COVID is the test that we've never had to face before. So we jumped in, and we've been communicating through the people that are in the knowledge, spinning the numbers, and we're communicating with Washington and putting it out there and saying, this is what you have to do if you really mean that we're important. If you really mean that we're important as a rural and agriculture and dairy, and our little bitty towns and these little bitty main streets are important to you, this is the way you need to lay out the next pile of money. Otherwise, we aren't even, if it is even getting through the sieve to get to us, it is not.
On the farm families, has it affected them deeply? I mean, they're getting a double hit here from COVID and from
yes. The farm families in our region, it's unbelievably tough. It is. And then I look at some of the programs that were out there and working with some of the families that have called, and they're working with their bankers and what have you, and the programs that were supposed to be federal programs, and trying to sift through them and finding out that most of the smalls couldn't get anything. When we realized that, and that's what we found out, and we're sending people to go through this process and find out they can't even hardly qualify for anything. One of them got $84 after all that paperwork and calculation and what have you. And then you see that. We certainly don't have it right. We certainly don't have it right. And it makes you even sicker and sadder.
I took a drive to visit one of these farms, the Wreath Farm on Chickadee Road, just a few miles from downtown Loyal. It's been in the family since 1948. They milk 250 cows, a mid-sized dairy operation in this county where there are twice as many dairy cows as people. Last year after taxes, the Reed farm only made $500. And now, COVID-19 adds to their worries. They're not alone.
After 5 years of low milk prices, 2020 was forecast to be a recovery year for the dairy industry. But economists are now expecting prices to plummet, with the coronavirus impacting demand and threatening the dairy workforce.
I'm scared. I really am. It's going to be tough. You wonder how you're going to get everything done with the crop and then everything else. I don't go very many places unless I have to. We're pretty much homebound here, and we got to be careful. I have to be careful because a few years ago I burnt my lungs with mold, so my lungs are probably would be susceptible to this if I did get it. So I got to be very, very careful.
I got laid off from Marshfield Clinic. I was a training assistant there, so that kind of affected the side income. So I'm depending on him more. And an unemployment check that I'm waiting for yet. But it's been quite a hit that way.
The Rees say they're in the hole about $300,000 this year alone. Big debt is not unusual for farmers trying to make ends meet, and in this pandemic year, it's been even harder.
We're going to be back to 09. 09, milk prices were $9 a hundred. And farmers can't live on that.
This is going to call out even more.
There's no way farmers can live on this. And grain prices are no good. Beef prices are not there. I don't know how they think rural America is supposed to survive this.
What's a good outcome for you this year?
If we could break even and nobody got sick and died, and we had our health, and we broke even.
Break even for a few months at least.
I'd thank the Lord.
That sense of hope is also felt back in the city, where loyal residents continue to lean on each other for help and support. It's in this city's DNA to embrace loyalty, even when it comes at a steep cost. Legend has it that Loyal got its name because every single eligible man in town enlisted to fight for the Union in the Civil War. That spirit's still alive today in the pandemic, what some call a war on humanity.
Everybody's grateful that we're alive, we're well, we're able to take care of our neighbors and our friends and help each other out. Boy, that's a number one in this town. Let's be part of the solution, not part of the problem. And I believe that's what you get with small town character.
And what you get are companies retooling themselves, from making window treatments to face masks. And a school district handing out 300 lunches a day. And alumni from the Future Farmers of America distributing milk in town. And now that the governor's stay-at-home order is over, Loyal is slowly reopening. People are grateful to see each other again. They're cautiously gathering at the American Legion steak feed, the local burger stand,
You, Kevin, $3.50.
or a favorite tavern like Shelby's Pub.
I've got some really great customers, I do, and they're very devoted and very loyal. We're gonna have to take a lot of precautions and, everybody being sanitary with the hand washing and when people leave, I'm gonna have to do the wet wipes and the Lysol and the Clorox bleach, to keep everything, so it's gonna be a lot of work for me, but it'll be worth it to have people back in here. I've lost pretty much 80% of my income, and it's going to take a few years to kind of maybe come back on this or whatever, and it's not been easy, but I survived. I don't even think you can really recover. You just got to move forward and then keep things going. And I guess you can't. Nobody's going to be able to recover from it. You just kind of lick your wounds and say goodbye to the money, all the money you lost or that you had to take out of your savings. That's what I did, to pay the bills. You just move on.
Loyal wants to move on, hoping that COVID-19 stays at bay and that they won't have to cancel the annual Corn Festival in August, where they'll celebrate the city's 150th anniversary.
I think as we come through this and out of this, it's helping each other now, hold each other up. As we come out of this, we're going to be really happy to see each other and what we've all done. Nobody's pounding their chest. Nobody's taking pride, they're taking pride in what they're doing, but nobody wants kudos for it. Nobody wants press for it. They just want to do their part. That's the real world of like a loyal Wisconsin.